Hello everyone, today we're going to be looking at Minecraft Championship Pride 2022. First, we're going to be analyzing all the different teams, and I'll tell you my thoughts on them. Then after that, I'll tell you where all the teams should place just according to statistics, although that doesn't really matter in this event due to there being so many new players. But then after that, I'll tell you where I personally think these teams will place just solely based on my opinion. But before we get into the video, as always, please subscribe and like the video, because I work really hard in these videos and it really motivates me and makes me want to keep making them when I see my subscriber count go up. And I actually don't think I've ever said this in the video before, but please feel absolutely free to leave a comment. If you agree, tell me that, and if you don't agree, tell me why. But, as always, like, subscribe, and enjoy the rest of this video. Starting off, we have the Red Rabbits. Now, this team is actually pretty good. Foolish actually did pretty good for his first event, and I think Carl can definitely perform well in this event too. Plus, George has actually been performing a lot better than I thought he was. And as always, Dream is a really good player. Personally, I think this team will definitely get top 5 because most of the teams in this event aren't very strong because they have a lot of new players. All in all, for this event specifically, this team is pretty good, and they'll definitely be very fun to watch. Second, we have the Orange Ocelots. Now, this team is also a good one. Illumina is actually probably one of the best players in the whole event, and Snifferish and Elena are also good players. In the Littlewood is also a pretty underrated player, and considering this event doesn't have the best teams because it's not really a competitive event, this team is definitely one of the better ones. And personally, I think they can definitely get top 5 and will without a doubt be very entertaining. Third, we have the Yellow Yaks. Now, this team is definitely a good vibes team. Everyone on this team is a fairly good player, and to be honest, there's nothing much to say about this team. Personally, I think they could get top 5, but they could also get bottom 5. It really just depends on how the other teams do. But all in all, this is a very positive energy team, and I definitely think they're going to be very fun to watch. Fourth, we have the Lime Llamas. Now, personally, I think this is probably on the stronger side of teams this event. I think Curtsy is definitely capable of leading his own team, and I also think everyone on this team is pretty good. I would definitely put this team in the top 5, and maybe even Dodgeball if they can get a few extra coins. But regardless, I think this team will be very entertaining anyways. Fifth, we have the Green Geckos. Now, I think we all know this team is probably going to get last, with only 2 members of this team having ever participated in MCC, and of those 2 players, they have each only played once. Now, although this team is probably going to get last, it's still super fun watching these 4 very popular YouTubers and Twitch streamers playing in MCC. And regardless of where they place, they're definitely going to be amazing to see participate in the event. Sixth, we have the Cyan Coyotes. Now, this is a team that I think is pretty good, because you're probably going to hear me say this a lot in this video. The teams in this event aren't very good, or at least are not as good as they'd normally be in regular MCC. This is due to there being a lot of new players in this event. And because of all the new players, I feel like the people who have already played are going to do a lot better than normal due to their competition being less challenging. And for that reason, I think Tubbo and 5UP are going to do well enough to boost this team into top 5. Maybe not Dodgeball, but I think top 5 is reasonable. And as always, they'll be very fun to watch regardless. Seventh, we have the Aqua Axolotls. Now, I think this team is probably one of the strongest in the event. Tapel is actually very inconsistent, but due to what I said about people who have already played doing better because their competition is less challenging, I think he's going to do very well. And same with Antfrost. Plus, Velvet and Antfrost will have very good chemistry due to them being together in real life. Plus, Gizzygaza is a pretty good player who actually won the last Pride event. So for all of that, I think this team is without a doubt going to get top 5, and I think probably Dodgeball too. But as always, this team is going to be very pleasant to watch anyways. Eighth, we have the Blue Bats. Now, this is just the classic Simmers team, and of course we all know they're most likely going to get bottom 5, but as we also all know, they'll have fun doing so, as they always do. And they're definitely going to be a blast to watch. Ninth, we have the Purple Pandas. This is yet another all-female team, and yet another good team. JoJo has been performing insane lately, and in this event especially, I feel like she's gonna just absolutely pop off. Puffy and Kara are also very good players, and although Nikki's score is very below average, she performed very well last Pride event. So personally, I think we have another top 5 team. Maybe not Dodgebolt, but I think top 5 is doable for them. And apart from this, they're definitely going to be a treat to see in action. Lastly, we have the Pink Parrots. Now, when I saw this team announced, I actually freaked out in real life. Jacksepticeye and Crank Gameplays have been some of my favorite YouTubers since I started watching YouTube back in 2016, and to see them playing in MCC is absolutely amazing. But even though these are some of my favorite YouTubers, I don't think they're going to do well at all. Ethan's only experience is playing on the Epic SMP, and Sean's only experience are his Let's Play series. But even though they're both probably not going to do well, they are teamed with Sapnap and Ranboo, who are some pretty good players. And I don't know if they're going to be able to win the event, but I think they could definitely do well, which is why I personally would say they could get the top 5, but not Dodgebolt. And regardless of this team is going to be very entertaining to see in this event. Now, this is the part of the video where I tell you guys where the teams should place just purely based on statistics. And before I start this segment, I would just like to mention that since this is a special non-canon event, this part is going to be highly inaccurate and probably pointless since this event isn't even competitive. And it took a while to figure out which players I would use, but for the 7 new players, I used Snifferish for Amesy, Skeppy for Velvet, and for the rest, I really couldn't find anyone who would match these players since none of them main Minecraft and most of them barely play at all. So for that reason, I found a player with a very average being VoiceOver Pete with 1009 coins, and I used him for all of the new players, of course, apart from Amesy and Velvet. Now, coming in last, we have the Green Geckos with 3,924 coins. Now, this was expected, of course, with 3 of their players being new. But even though they're most likely going to get last, they might be able to get 8th or 9th if they really practice and do well. But either way, it's still going to be really fun watching these people play. Coming in 9th, we have the Blue Bats with 3,926 coins. Now, I definitely think they can get higher than this in the actual event. Correctic Zeus is getting better and better with each passing day, and James Turner is actually pretty good too. And although they probably won't get in the top half, I would definitely say they have the potential to get a few places higher than this. Coming in 8th, we have the Cyan Coyotes with 7,354 coins. Now, I definitely think this team can also get higher. 5UP and Tubbo are really good players, and despite Amesy being a new player, I still think they'll do well since they have a pretty good chemistry with Tubbo. I would say this team is going to get in the top half. Coming in 7th, we have the Pink Parrots with 7,401 coins. Now, with this team, honestly, I feel like with enough coaching from Sapnap and enough support from Ranboo, this team can for sure get higher than this. Even though these 2 players are new, so many of the other people in this event are also new, and I think Sapnap is going to be able to take advantage of that and absolutely pop off. So personally, I do think this team can get higher than this. Coming in 6th, we have the Purple Pandas with 7,564 coins. Now, honestly, I feel like this is an okay placement for this team. I do think they could potentially get higher, but all in all, this placement is pretty accurate in my opinion. Coming in 5th, we have the Lime Llamas with 7,786 coins. Now, this is another team that's in a pretty good spot. Personally, I wouldn't change anything about their placement, but once again, I do think it's possible that they could get higher. Coming in 4th, we have the Orange Ocelots with 7,868 coins. Now, this one makes sense since Illumina is such a good player and all of the other people on this team are also pretty good. I definitely think they can get this placement in the actual event and maybe a bit higher if they can really pop off. Coming in 3rd, we have the Yellow Yaks with 7,899 coins. Now, personally, I don't know if this team is really going to get this high. I would personally put them down a placement or 2, but I do think that if they really pop off and get the right games, they might be able to get this placement, but personally, I don't really think so. Coming in 2nd, we have the Aqua Axolotls with 7,980 coins. Now, this is a team that I definitely think can place this high. Antfrost has been really popping off, and Tapel, although inconsistent, is also a really good player. These 2 paired with Velvet and Gizzygaza I think will make for a very good performance. So personally, I think they could definitely get this placement and maybe even a bit higher, aka first place. Now coming in first, we have the Red Rabbits with 8,474 coins. Now personally, I would put them 1 or 2 places lower, but this is one of the better teams in the event, so they could very well get this high in the actual event. But anyways, out of Aqua and Red wins Dodgeball 70% of the time. And now this is the part of the video where I tell you where I think the teams will place just solely based on my opinion. Coming in last, I have the Green Geckos. Coming in 9th, I have the Blue Bats. Coming in 8th, I have the Yellow Yaks. Coming in 7th, I have the Cyan Coyotes. Coming in 6th, I have the Pink Parrots. Coming in 5th, I have the Lime Llamas. Coming in 4th, I have the Orange Ocelots. Coming in 3rd, I have the Purple Pandas. Coming in 2nd, I have the Aqua Axolotls. And coming in 1st, I have the Red Rabbits. And out of Red and Aqua, I think Aqua is going to win Dodgeball. Now, I'm afraid that is the end of the video. If you guys would like to keep seeing more of these in the future, please consider subscribing and liking the video. And I would also like to apologize once again for being late. I know MCC is literally in 4 days and I'm just barely posting it. I'm sorry, I promise you guys that now that school's over, I'll have these videos done a lot sooner. But as for now, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and have a good day everyone.